mate, you alright?
Yeah, man, good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. So, what are we doing on this fine Saturday morning?
Well, before we do anything, we're having some coffee because it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning and I'm not functioning without that. But once we're done here, we're going to go off to the studios. You're basically going to spend the day in there with me and just see what I do.
Cool.
So I'm working on a track that needs some vocals, so we'll be getting some mics out, recording some of that.
Sounds good to
and
me.
then just see where it goes.
Happy days.
All right, cool, man.
Should we crack on?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Let's go.
Is my hat all right?
Yeah, hat's
Yeah.
fine, mate, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Right, so, made it to the studio.
Yeah.
Little bit of jazzy vibes along the way.
Yeah, man.
Why don't you introduce yourself properly to everybody at home?
Okay, my name's Matt Radley, aka Crystal Mad, and I am a hardstyle producer and DJ, and also a lecturer at DBS Music in Plymouth.
So, why don't you explain your kind of journey so far to how you've got to where you are today?
Okay, I've always had a passion for music. When I was younger, I was in a band, like playing guitar and stuff, and around 15, 16, I kind of found dance music and really fell in love with it. So I kind of worked for a couple of years, saving up every penny I could from my paper round to buy a set of turntables. And then quite quickly after I started learning to DJ, I kind of thought I want to learn how to make my own music so I can play my own tracks when I was out in the clubs. So I looked around and I found a course in Plymouth at DBS Music and completed that, moved on, completed my degree. So fast forward to present day, I'm now signed to a major hardstyle label playing over Europe and the UK, and things are kind of going pretty well for me.
What would you say is kind of like, what gives you your drive to do what you do every single day?
Because I think it's just the creative process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand that, 100%.
I'd be lying if I didn't say I think about the biggest stages in the world, because I absolutely do, and they are a massive dream of mine. But
Well, you know you're going to get there.
yeah,
Yeah.
anybody can get anywhere. You just got to keep working at
Yeah.
it. But it's being able to create something that is a part of me, because music is an art to me. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sitting in this studio is a way for me to express myself, and I almost see a track as like a container for my emotions.
Yeah.
I know that may sound a bit strange, but if I'm having a bad day, I can express that in how I'm feeling in the music.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and when I listen back to my old music, I kind of remember how I felt and the reason behind why I was making that.
It's strange how music does that.
Yeah.
Literally, you can hear something that you've heard like back in the past, and you just automatically, the memories come back to
Yeah.
what you was thinking when you heard that at that
Yeah,
time.
definitely, man.
It's crazy, that.
Things like when you're younger, do you know what I mean? A track, it just takes you back to being on holiday with a family or something.
Yeah.
And that's what they are now by making my own music. They're containers for my own emotions from that point in time.
Yeah.
So being able to create is fundamentally the single thing that gets me up in the morning.
What would you say is like your best like standout moment so far?
Well, professionally, I'd say probably my biggest moment was getting to play at DEF CON 1 last year, which is the biggest hardstyle festival in the world. And I've been going there since 2011, I think my first year was.
And where's that to?
It's in Holland.
Yeah.
So I kind of like just spent so much time watching my favourite DJs play on these amazing stages.
Yeah.
And like from that point, I kind of thought I really want to play on one of these stages. It was my dream. And last year was the first time I got to do that. And I can actually remember when I got told that I was going to be playing at DEF CON, I cried my eyes out. I literally and I mean proper ugly cries. But it was like, I mean, when you've worked so hard,
Yeah.
and you've had that dream for so long, I don't think you realise how much it can affect you when it actually happens. I mean, it
But there's
was
a big sense of euphoria, wasn't it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, when I got told, I was just like, I was blown away. I mean, I definitely wasn't crying when I was on stage. I'm a bit crazy when I go on stage, but before and after, I was a bit of a emotional wreck, to say the least.
Well, it's all your hard work paying off, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's kind of, I really felt in that moment that I was doing something right.
Yeah. So obviously we're sat in this fancy studio
Yeah.
in DBS Plymouth. I don't know how half any of this stuff works.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do is cut to some B-roll, you doing your magic.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about your new album that you've got coming out soon.
Okay, sounds good,
All right,
man.
ideal. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Your time is running out, so what the fuck you waiting for? Are you in or are you out? It's time to settle the score.
Nice. Right, so you've got a new album coming out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I've got a new album coming out in a couple of weeks actually, and it's called Exposed. And the kind of idea in my mind about that was exposing myself as an artist and a producer. So like within the broad term of hardstyle, there's quite a lot of different styles and subgenres like there is in any music.
Yeah.
And I like to really explore all of those because it allows me to be creative. I think if I stick to one thing for too long, I kind of become bored
Yeah.
a little bit. So the constant need to like experiment and push and try and be creative is really important to me. So I wanted that to come across in this album. I wanted it to be quite diverse.
Yeah. So we've seen you in the music studio. You spoke a little bit about your music.
Yeah.
But what really kind of gets you going outside of the whole music scene completely?
I mean, I think the most important thing is my partner Gemma, and we recently had our first child, so she's 7 months old now, and being able to watch another tiny human being grow up and learn is single-handedly the best thing that has ever happened to me in my life. Like I think it's something only a parent can understand. Watching your own child grow up is amazing. So getting to spend as much time as I can with those two is definitely the most important thing in my life to me. But I've got quite a few hobbies outside of that as well. I mean, I really like football, so I watch and follow a lot of football. I like to exercise as much as I can, so I love like going to the gym, playing squash and swimming. I think exercise is really important, not only physically but mentally. I think the mental benefits from exercise are amazing.
Yeah, it just helps with everything, doesn't it?
It
Just makes
does.
your mind clearer.
It does, it really does, man. And like whenever I've like had a bad day in here, because you do have bad days no matter what you do. Even if what you do is your ultimate passion, you always have bad days. So being able to release that stress or tension outside of music is really important for me. So going swimming or getting to hit a ball against the wall, do you know what I mean, for an hour is something that really helps me, I think. And I've been learning to speak Dutch for about a year now.
Oh, right.
Because my future's gonna be in Holland.
Yeah.
I think so.
That seems to be where the scene is for all of this.
Yeah, 100%. So I think for me, like, I just really want to take the time to try and learn another language, and I'm really enjoying that. It's difficult.
I bet it is, yeah.
Really
I
difficult.
struggle with English.
Me too, I'm not going to lie,
Fair play
actually.
to you.
But no, it's actually really self-indulgent learning another language, and it's fascinating actually trying to speak one.
So what kind of advice would you give to kind of, any up and coming DJs, well, inspiring DJs, producers that kind of want to get into what you're doing?
I think the most important thing is that if you've got a passion for anything, not only music, is start doing it right now.
Yeah, not tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. I hear so many people say
same.
tomorrow.
Hear it all the time.
And do you know what I mean? Like, one day there won't be a tomorrow. I know that's quite morbid, but there's only so many tomorrows you get in a single lifetime. And if you spend your life going tomorrow, it becomes so easy to fall into that mentality of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it right now. And I mean, there's being able to be creative is so accessible today. Do you know what I mean? With the internet, if you, wherever you are, I mean, if you're in Plymouth, come and check out DBS Music, because you can learn so much here. But also on YouTube, do you know what I mean? YouTube is an unbelievable resource.
Yeah, there's so much content out there these days.
Yeah, you can
literally learn anything.
You can literally learn anything. So there's no reason why, if you've got a passion, you cannot start pursuing that passion right now.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest bit of advice would be, it's just to start now. And secondly, enjoy what you do. Enjoy the learning process. So many people get caught up on the end game. Do you know what I mean? All they're ever looking at is the biggest picture. But for
You've got to
me,
enjoy all the little goals along the way, haven't you?
100%.
That's where you get your sense of achievement from.
Exactly. I've got like a real thing for lists, and I write anything.
Yeah,
on
to-do
that.
lists are the way forward.
And giving a
100%.
tick on a list is so.
It's like a little pat on the back.
It is. It literally is. It's strange how things like that happen, but it really is. So I think, don't get caught up in the end game. Just really enjoy the process of working towards that end game.
Yeah.
Because if you don't enjoy that, I see so many people get disheartened and demotivated because things aren't happening for them, and I think that's because they're focusing on the wrong aspect of what they're doing.
I think it all just boils down to just breaking it all down into like manageable little goals, doesn't it?
100%. Do you know what I mean? Give yourself constantly short, realistic, achievable goals that you can tick off, and eventually you will hit enough of those goals that you'll, without even realising it, hit your main goal.
Yeah.
It will just creep up on you.
Yeah.
So I think start doing it right now, not tomorrow, and enjoy every second of it as much as you can.
Ideal. Well, I think that's pretty much everything from today anyway.
Yeah.
Should we pack up and get out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Ideal.
Thanks for coming in with me though, mate.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah. Let's go.
Catch you later, peeps. I was going to say, finish it up with us talking.
If you want, whatever.
Rough shot, innit? That's what I said then. It wasn't a bad day, was it? And you're like, no.
Oh, right. I thought you were just actually generally talking.
Go on, leave it on a fucking cliffhanger. No.